Hey guys, welcome to another stream, another video, another day, and hopefully my voice stays consistent and you can hear me fine. So I'm going through something with my throat, but other than that I feel okay. And I want to continue on the build. And what are we building? Well, we are building this guy here. This is the BMPT Terminator by Meng, Russian battle tank thing. Yeah, so what are we on now? This will be part 4? I think it's part 4. So, last time we got the running gear all put on, and I got my wheels assembled, but I'm not going to be putting them on. I just put these on just for, just to see how they fit and how easy it is to spin. These cogs, they spin, they're actually quite loose on there. Very loose, but they are there, like, they're on there, right? But, yeah, a little bit loose, whereas the front ones, much more of a tight fit. But again, they're on there, they're not going anywhere. And they do spin, no problem at all. I did make the mistake of putting one of the wheels on and then trying to get it off. Thank you, Plane, for interrupting me. It's a little bit difficult to get the wheels off of there once they're on, because these have a little bit of movement to them. You can see that in the camera. There is some movement. They do flex a little bit, right? This one obviously not so much, but they do have some flex in them, right? Because of the nature of the rods going through in the middle, they do flex. So there is that. And so when you're trying to like twist the wheel off to get it off of there, these want to bend on you. And so, yeah, I'm not putting them on until we're ready to be done. Excuse me. As far as the tracks, well, in the instructions, we've got the wheels. They want you to put them on, but we're not doing that yet. And then assemble the tracks, and it does say on here, make 2 tracks of 81 links each. And that's a long process. Next page, they want you to put the tracks on the wheels. Well, again, we're going to be waiting until pretty much the end to do that. But I do have my tracks ready. My tracks are ready with all the rust, as you can see, all the splatter and everything inside the box here. My tracks are ready for assembly. They look nice and rusty and worn and all that good stuff. I'll go through a little bit of the process of how I got there. Okay, so you guys saw in part 1, I spray painted the tracks a dark gray color. Okay, I happen to use gunship gray, but any dark gray, that'll work. Now, I got to give a shout out to Night Shift. His YouTube channel is how I learned how to do this, and I basically just followed his instructions, although I didn't use the exact same paints as he likes to use, because my local hobby store just doesn't have them. So I used a combination of these, just Vallejo colors. My first coat was the Vallejo Orange Rust 71.130. Okay, that was my first coat. I started to paint it on, and I thought, you know what, it's gonna go on too thick, and I might get too much in on all the links. And so what I wound up doing is I just put it in my airbrush, and I sprayed it on until they were a bit of a nice orangey color, and that was it. Then after that, I used the Vallejo Wash, and this one is the light rust. Okay, light rust on this one. Okay, I used that, went over top of it, and then after that, again, another Vallejo Wash. This is just rust, and it's just a little bit darker. But with this one, what I did is I did the speckling treatment. I just take a toothpick. Where's my toothpick? Toothpick, and I just dip the brush in it, dip the brush in the paint, and then just literally just do this and just speckled it over the tracks. As you can tell, all the evidence in the box is just going like that over it. And that's all I did for that third one. Okay, then once that was dry, I used the Vallejo Rust texture. Now this happens to be from the Mecca line. This is 69.821. Okay, and I just did that again, just did the speckling just to get a really dark rust color on there. And then that's done. Rust is done. But we're not leaving it there, right? Because this tank is actually being used and it's in service. And so I want to do a dust effect, like there's dust on there, right? That's been driving through the dirt. It's not just rusty tracks because the tank is sitting there. This track's in service. So at the end, I went with AK's dust effects. Right there, this guy. Okay. Went with this one and just did a light little, this is kind of like a wash. And I just kind of did over top of the rust a little bit just to give it a light dust effect. Dust effect, it's what it's called, right? And so that's what I did. And then finally, at the last step, I got my graphite pencil and I went through on each side of the center pins here, just on this side of the track, to simulate where the road wheels travel along the top of the track, to give it that little bit of a dark metal color. While I was doing it, I was thinking, you know what, I wouldn't necessarily need to use a graphite pencil, although it makes it easy because you just rub it on there and you're done. But you could get away with maybe doing a bit of a dry brush with like a gunmetal color. You know, you could just take gunmetal and just dry brush it in the center part, and I think you'd get a similar result. I think that would work too. But anyway, so my tracks are ready for assembly to actually go on the tank. But of course, we're not going to be doing that till pretty much the very end, right? So these get to sit aside over here. And so we're going to move on to the next step, number 9. It looks like we're moving on to the upper hull. And this is attaching the front upper glacis plate. And so we need A1 and A2 and A4. So where is my A tree? There is my A tree. 1, 2, and 4 right there. There's number 1, number 2. And number 4. Okay. So oops, don't want to cut that detail away. Ow, I just poked myself. Don't do that at home. But duplicitous, you are at home. Yeah, I know. Okay. Take a bit of my own advice. Don't poke myself. Okay, so we take this guy just like that, and we gotta take this one, and there's a notch, and it's gonna go. How are you going? Where does that one go? Like this? See if I've got guide hole pegs there. Oh, no, I don't. He's this stupid kid with these extraction pins everywhere. You can't get away from them. There we go. So it's going to go in there like that and form a little box. Okay. There we go. So there's that one. And then this is going to go on the end. Now it's got a very tiny little loop right there. But they're not showing in the... Oh yeah, they do show. So this has to go up. And it's going to go on the end here. Just like that. Okay. Alright, so we've got the end on there now. Now we need a bunch more parts. And so what do we need? We need from our D tree 21, 22, 23, 19, yeah, and 20. Okay, so let's find our D. Where's my D? There's my D. Found my D. Okay. So basically we need 19 through 23. Looks like it might be all on here. I'm going to change my glasses. There we go. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22, and 23. Do I need 18? No. I'm starting with 19. Okay. So there's 19. So there's 19. Try and keep them. Pictures are located. It's 20. Sometimes it's a little difficult to tell whether it's flashing on the thing or if it's actually part of the mold. It's part of the mold, so there we go. So there's 21. So 22 we need twice because we're going on both. And I need 23. 23. And that looks like that's it for my D tree. At least for now. So, I'm going to get rid of these. 22. Oh, I need 24 also. And this 24. I also need N4. N. What was N? Where's N? Here's D. G, K, L, E, Q, P, M, B, N. I need N. I wonder if N is the clear tree. There was a clear tree. Is that N? Yes, it is. This is the one that has the plastic wrap over it. Come on. It's like they wrapped it in tape. There we go. Okay. I needed 4. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 5, 4. This guy here. Just a little clear lens. That's all he is. Okay, M4 on D24. Okay, and it's not supposed to have these on it, so let's get rid of those. Okay, so D or N4 goes in here. Just like that. And so I will use my thin glue to hold that in place. I see some guys building an airplane model and they get to the canopy and they suddenly switch their glue to like Elmer's white glue for the canopy, and I think, why would you use Elmer's glue or wood glue? It doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so my 22, let's clean this up here. A lot of pieces for the light buckets, I tell you. See, I understand you don't want to have glue residue showing on the clear parts, but honestly, I personally have never had a problem like the Tamiya glue, the thin set. It dries clear. It doesn't leave any marks, from what I can tell. So I don't see a need to use the Elmer's, the wood glue, if you have the Tamiya thin glue. There we go, now it's together. Okay. And then we put this into the little cage. Unfortunately, I just put this piece on backwards. It's okay, the glue hadn't quite set, so get away with it. And now it's going to go into the cage like that. So I'm going to use different glue on this one. There we go. So there's one little light bucket all done. Just like that. And now we'll do this one. This one has less parts, which is nice. Just simply gluing this onto this. It's kind of ironic that we've got one lens that's clear and one that's not. Instead, they want you to paint it. Of course, they don't tell you the color. It's 71.057, whatever that color is. Go. Ooh, it's almost dropped it on the floor. Okay, and in similar fashion, it's going to go onto that piece, just like so. So, let's grab this here. And that one's mounted. Just like that. So we've got our two lights assembled. This is going to be part of one of them. Oh, I guess I need D18. I missed that down. I need D18 also. Grab my D again. Okay, so let's go back to this. We have our holes here for our light buckets, or headlights. this is going to go in that. Whoops. This is going to go in that. Okay. So that's always ironic, you know, when you're test fitting and you don't have glue on it, it fits perfectly. As soon as you put glue on it, suddenly it doesn't fit right. Now this goes over top of it, as well as going in. So then this one, line up our holes on the hull. There we go. So there's that side. Let's see if I can get that straight. Focus it. You want to focus? Come on. I know you can. Come on, you stupid camera, focus. Hey, how about that? Now, flip. There. It's not cooperating. I hate that. I hate that. It makes me mad. It makes me tempted to put the camera on manual focus, so I just set the focus and it's done. But if I set it so that its focus is up close like this, then you can't see what I'm doing down here. And so, catch-22. Okay, and we do the same with this one. So this one doesn't have a convenient little handle, so and there we have it. Our headlights installed. Just like that. Okay. And we need B27 and 28 now. Off of the B tree. I have my B tree right here. B. 27 and 28. 24, 25, right, these two right here. Doink and doink. 27 and 28. Okay. There's 28. There's 27. Okay, and so these are going to go into those little holes right there. Well, they're supposed to go in your holes. Go in your hole. Okay, I'm going to test fit this one to make sure I don't have to put so much pressure on it to get it in the hole. Okay. I'm not sure what these are. It doesn't tell me that they want me to paint them, but I don't know what color. Basically, the whole painting process can be done at the end, pretty much, right? So, next, we're going to put this aside for a minute or so while we work on the upper hull. We've got a couple of rings that are going to go on here, and some kind of a panel or something cover that's going to go here. And so we need A3. We had A. Where'd my A tree go? This is our last piece on the A tree. A tree is done. That's it for that one. Even on this piece, ejector pins, 2 of them on the inside here. Like, what the heck? This guy, he simply goes on the front like this, just like that. So that's easy enough. Just do a little bit more just for that measure. Make sure it goes anywhere. Probably won't anyway, but just to make sure. Okay, so I got to find my M tree. M34. M. 2 M's, which means I'm going to grab one off of each. So both number 34. And that's this ring right here. One. Two. I'm hoping don't get the wind noise on the microphone like I did last time. I'm not sure how that happened. I never get wind noise on the mic. I don't think I had my fan turned on particularly higher than normal, but yet when I was all finished, and of course I don't have any kind of software that can remove wind noise, so okay, so these go down. Looks like there's a couple of notches there and there that point down, I think. No, they actually point up. But there is a notch here that's going to line up right there. And then all these little nubs that are sticking up are going to go into all these little notches. Okay. So, I don't think I have to put a lot. Let's put some glue in a few of these little notches here as it goes around. It should be enough. Line it up. There we go. So that's one side. The other side. Okay, so those rings are on, and we've got one more piece, or two, R6 and N7. Oh, N again. Third piece. There's N7 and R6. Oh, R's right here. R6. This guy here. Alright, so this is a little window of some sort, and then N7. Looks like it goes in like this. There's a particular way it's supposed to sit in there. Looks like it sits this way. Just like that. Okay, so I'll glue this in here first. And then this goes right in the middle here. I will glue that from the bottom. And then move it so I've got no glue on it. Let's try this a little differently. And now it's going to stay this time. Okay, so now we have that on there. Okay? And now we're going to go back to our first piece. And this has to go on the big blank area. It fits in like that. And once again, you can see the different shade of green that it's molded in compared to the hull. Which is, I find that humorous that they actually have it molded in a different color. And it's funny, it stays on there, but it's not glued, so. So I'll just put a few drops on the edge. That's what you call a few drops? Yep. Okay, so that's on. We need B16 and 17. Over here. $16, $17. And they run along the edge. There's a tiny little notch right there. So they want 17 on this side. So 17, I guess I have to turn that rod up. Okay, so if I line it up with that, it's supposed to face down. See, they don't show specifically where the other end of this is supposed to go. So I don't know if I keep it flush against there, or if I move it out, make it, yeah, I'm not sure. I guess I'll just have to wing it. Okay, so there's one. those are on. Now, R5. Hello, how are you? R5. It's the last one off this tree. Sorry there, Earth Tiger Witch. Was focused on installing a part and I didn't see a chat there. I'm doing pretty good. Except for my voice. I'm doing alright. Okay, so this goes down on here and covers up this center hatch. Like so. Just put a couple dabs of glue, it's all it needs. And there we go. And that'll do it for that. Okay. Now, next page. Let's clean up our little bits here. Next page looks like we're going to be starting working on the fenders. We're going to be going on the front here. Which means we put this aside for now. I am making the Russian BMPT Terminator tank. This one is 1/35 scale by Meng. Figure it's nice to, you know, Russia's in the news a lot lately, so why not make one, right? Okay, so front fenders, we need L25 and 26. So we gotta find the L's. DBC L. Okay. 25 and 26 is going to be these two guys, I'm assuming. Yep. Okay, anything else off the L? No. I'm going to need C and gotta grab my D again. Yes, lots of fiddly bits, that's for sure. Lots of parts on this one. Let's see, so I need D8 and D7. Where are we here? Oh, these tiny little guys. D7, D8. Okay. And I need C3 and 5. C3, it's a tiny little rod. C5. There we go. I'll be coming back to the C tree in a minute. You're in the UK? I am in the western side of Canada. right near Vancouver, actually, in Canada. Must be getting pretty late there if you're in the UK. It's only 2:30 in the afternoon here where I am. .30 p.m. Yeah. Okay. So these are ready. Which one am I doing first here? It is this one. So C3 gets to go on. Oh, they got a nice little trench for it here. Goes on just like that. It sits in that little trench. It's nice of them to put that on there when, you know, they could have easily molded it with it already there. Maybe not. I don't know. Sometimes I always wonder what the manufacturers, when they're trying to decide what parts they're going to make molded on there and what parts are going to actually have you install. Okay, so with that on, I take C5, and there is a little hole right down at the bottom there. I guess that goes into there. It's a little confusing how they want this set and what angle they want it set up. So if you go like this, look at the next picture, it kind of goes up and around. So, okay, kind of like a hook. So let's just trim this a little bit if I can, without wrecking it. Delicate parts, right? Okay. Just trying to figure out how I need to orient it, that's all. I think I understand how they want to put on there. Key word is I think. I understand. I think that's it. Just like that. Just like that. I think that's how they want it, so that's how I'm doing it. based on this picture here, it shows it hooking up and around like that. So, yeah. And then, of course, D8. Don't forget this guy. This guy's got to go on there, too. There we go. Okay, and that's done. So that's one side. Well, it's not one side done. I still got to do it for this guy, but I got more parts. I feel like I'm losing my voice. I think I'll put the rest of the parts on this one, these guys here, and then I'm going to call it a day. So I'm starting to lose my voice here. So, M3, M22, 23, 24. Let's see, I gotta change my glasses to read that. There's a lot of miniatures that are fiddly. I remember trying to make. I just can't figure them out. It's almost like they're giving me instructions in another language. And sometimes they actually are. Especially like if you're building a Tamiya model kit. All the instructions are in Japanese, and yeah, it makes it pretty difficult. Here we are, 22. There's 22, and 23 and 24. Three, 24. There we go. Okay. So I'll figure out how these go. Excuse me. Okay, so they don't want me gluing 24 down, which tells me 23 and 22 are just going to go over top of it and hold it in place. So we've got a little hole here, and then these two. So this one is going to here, like that. And then this guy, they have him just going over like that. So let's just clean this little nub off of this first. And clean this one up. Okay, so I'll put this guy down first. This guy is fairly simple. Just line up that hole, if you can actually line it up. There we go. Okay. So now he's on there. Now we deal with this guy. So you can just lay that down on here and leave it. Goes this way. Turn around. Goes like that. Now, a little bit of glue on this should allow me there we go. Alright, so now that's in there and he's done. Okay. So now I got to do the same for the other side. I'm going to do that another time. So I'm going to get going and call it a day. And yeah, my voice is going on me. And yeah, that's going to be it. So sorry guys if I'm cutting this off a little early, but it is what it is. So Earth Tiger Witch, thank you for the little bit of a chat. Sorry I couldn't do this anymore. It's a bit of a short stream, but if you're interested, you can head on over to my YouTube channel, and you can check out other videos that I've done and stuff like that, and different builds. Or you can head on over to my Instagram, and you can see some still pictures. I got links on my page. You can check those out if you feel like. But yeah, so I'm going to call it a day, and yeah, thanks again, and we'll catch you next time.